Okay, let me hide my floating contrast now. So we said, okay, so which solution causes the potato cylinder to be most flaccid? So what's the answer? To be most flaccid. What do you think?
Would it be A?
Can be A.
Is it
To
D?
be flaccid, it must have a higher concentration of what? Of salt solution.
Is it
The one with
D?
the highest salt, D, has got the highest concentration. It means per same volume there, I have 0.1. So I have one more. I have more moles of salt solution. So this is a highly concentrated salt solution. So it means more water will leave from the vacuum of these cells. Clear now, because it is placed in a high concentration of salt solution. Clear.
Yes, sir.
The diagram shows the concentrations of sugar and starch, okay, on an onion. Then you are given the per 100 grams, you have 3.7. There you have 0. So no starch. Okay. Now, okay, also this is reducing sugars and this is starch. Okay, that's right. The onion is tested. The onion is tested with Benedict solution and iodine. I'm sure you know that this we're testing for reducing sugar, this we're testing for starch. Now, which set of results is correct? So which set of results will be correct?
Is it
Said D.
C?
Let's see. You have to be careful. Is there any starching?
No, sir.
No starch. So it should give you a negative what? Negative test of iodine. So negative test of iodine, what is it? Brown,
Isn't it orange?
Brown or orange, but it's mainly brown. It remains like that. You can't say blue black. Blue black, it means starch is present. There's no starching. Clear. Then
Yes,
what's
sir.
the best answer there?
D.
D. Which statement about the structure of DNA is correct? Which statement about the structure of DNA is correct? Number 8. So what do you think? Yeah, stuck.
So is it? I'm just going to guess. Is it C?
No, you should not guess. But what do you know about the base sequence? A always maps to T. G always maps to C.
G. Okay.
The diagram shows the protease enzyme catalyzing breaking down part of protein molecule into smaller pieces. Which diagram represents the correct labels? Which diagram represents the correct labels?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Substrate is what the enzyme breaks down. Active site is this part of the enzyme that's in contact with that. And this is the enzyme, that's correct. So C, clear.
Yes, sir.
A student wrote down some notes about enzymes. She wrote, Which words correctly complete 1, 2, and 3? So figure out what will be the correct wording.
Um, is it is it mm,
Is it A?
It's A. The active site of the enzyme is complementary to an area of the substrate. The area of the substrate fit into to form an enzyme substrate complex. The apparatus shown were used in an experiment. The carbon dioxide content of the water in each test tube was measured at the start of the experiment and again 3 hours later. In which test tube will carbon dioxide concentration decrease? In which test tube or in which setup will carbon dioxide concentration decrease? Will carbon dioxide, what's the answer? Good question.
Is it C?
C. So if we take out, correct answer. So if we take out, this black keeps sunlight out. So no photosynthesis, huh? No photosynthesis. Huh? So carbon dioxide concentration remains the same. Huh? Clear? It remains the same here. But no photosynthesis. Huh? Photosynthesis is the one that absorbs carbon dioxide, causes carbon dioxide to be absorbed. There, photosynthesis takes place. There, respiration takes place. So if respiration takes place, carbon dioxide concentration increase. Huh? The question is talking about decreasing. Huh? Clear now?
yes, sir.
The diagram shows the cross section of a leaf. What is the name of the labeled part X? What's the name of that? That's easy. What do you call it? Are you guys still there? Oh, lost you.
Is it C?
Yeah, the palisade is the one with many chloroplasts, where most photosynthesis take place. Palisade is mass of its cell. Why do plants need nitrate ions?
Is it A?
Yes, to make amino acid. Then part, wait a minute. Which part of the body of a mammal does physical digestion? Okay. In which part of the body of a mammal does physical digestion? Okay.
Is it the
Is it
gallbladder?
mouth?
Hmm?
The mouth.
Physical digestion in the mouth. Huh? Physical digestion in the mouth. Clear?
Yes, sir.
The diagram shows you part of the human digestive system. Where is protein digested by trypsin? Huh? Careful. What enzyme? Trypsin.
Is it A? A.
A, correct. Why is C wrong? Because C in the stomach is not trypsin, huh? It's protease. Huh?
Yes.
Clear now. A. The diagram shows a cross section through the root of a buttercup plant. What is the function of the tissue labeled Z? What is the function of the tissue labeled Z?
Is it D?
Yes, that's the xylem. The phloem are the ones that are small. So xylem, transport of the water molecules. Roots and leaves both act as sources and sink, sources and sink for sucrose and amino acids at different times during what? During the year. At which point in the year are the roots most active as source? Most active as source. The roots most active as source. So what do you think? The roots most active as source.
Is it D?
Not really. Quite close. Most active as source. Most active as source.
Is it C?
No. Most active as sources this time, yeah. New leaves start to grow. Most active as source, it means they are providing the food, the source. They are the source when new leaves start to grow. Which needs you need to know the structure of the heart. The diagram, which blood vessel is the pulmonary vein? Which blood vessel is the pulmonary vein?
I'm not sure. Is it A?
I guess you know. Do you agree with me? No. Look at the heart is the easiest thing. Now, can you tell me which one is the left ventricle, this one and this one?
The
S.
left ventricle is on the left side.
Huh?
The left ventricle is the one on the right, is it not?
The left ventricle is the one that is more thick because it pumps oxygenated blood under high pressure. Which one is thick here? This
It's
is
the one on the
how together? Left ventricle. Why? It's thick. This is thin here. How together? So don't claim, just know that what I've said. The left ventricle is the one that is more thick because it pumps what? Oxygenated blood under high pressure. Clear now? Now we know that this one brings oxygen from where? From the lungs to the heart. is the only vein that carries oxygenated blood. I'm sure you know that. Huh? So it's from the heart to the what? So it has to go here before it is being pumped out. Can you see that? So which means oxygenated blood comes here. You see pulmonary all together. Then into the left atrium. Clear? The left atrium contracts, opens these valves all together. The atrioventricular valves, opens them so that the blood goes to the left ventricle. Clear? Now the left ventricle contracts and closes this valve, huh? Because we don't want blood to go back to this. Clear? When now the oxygenated blood now is now pumped, these semiluminar valves open. Clear? And the blood goes. So this is your aorta here, your main artery, huh? Which now takes blood to all other arteries, to the brain, to the kidneys, all together. Respiration takes place. When respiration takes place, oxygen is used up. Huh? As oxygen is used up, carbon dioxide is produced. Carbon dioxide combines with hemoglobin. That's what we now call deoxygenated blood, and is now brought via the vena cava, clear, to the right side of the heart. Makes sense? This contracts, this opens, blood is pushed to the left, to the right ventricle. And when it is now left ventricle, this closes, this opens, this contracts, blood is now pushed to the pulmonary artery. Clear now? Not difficult. Make sense?
Yes.
There.
Yes, sir.
What happens to the heart valves when the ventricles contract? We've actually talked about it here. When the ventricles contract. So we said when the ventricles contract, these valves should what? Should close. Huh? And I'm sure you know that we call those atrioventricular valves. Huh? They close. We don't want the blood to go back into the atriums. Huh? They close, clear. Then the semiluminar valves open. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Now, what are the appropriate percentages of oxygen and carbon dioxide in inspired air?
C.
See, because I think of the air you're breathing in, huh? Oxygen is 21% in books, huh? But now when you breathe out, when you breathe, we remember we're talking about the air, then carbon dioxide is only this, huh? But if it's expired air, what will be the percentages of those two? If the question had said expired air, what would be the percentage of oxygen? And what would be the percentage of, can you tell me what would be the percentage? So oxygen, what would be the percentage when you breathe out? What's the percentage of oxygen when you breathe out? Is it the same or less?
It would be less.
Yeah, what's the percentage? 16%, not difficult. Huh? And carbon dioxide, it's always 100% of this. 4%, clear?
Yes,
Are we
sir.
together? It's always 100% of that. Oxygen is 4% less. Carbon dioxide 100% when you breathe out. Huh? Why I'm saying so? Because you might get a different question. Huh? If they say the air that you breathe in is 0.03%, it means what you are breathing out is 3%. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what you are talking about here. Did you skip a question? No. Number 21. The diagram shows you the structure labeled X showing bacterium with protein on its surface. The diagram labeled Y shows you the protein site by the human body. Which row shows the correct combination for destroying the bacterium? Which row shows you? So the name of X, the name of Y, So what is correct there? Which one is correct?
So please could you go up to the diagram again?
Okay, there. X.
Is it A?
X is an antigen. I'm sure we agree first that X is an antigen. Then Y is the antibody. Then the shape of that, because it has to fit into this. That's correct. Clear?
Yes, clear.
Which environmental condition must always be present for seed germination? Must always be present for seed germination.
Is it B?
Seed germination.
Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
That's not correct.
What type?
What are the three things that are important for germination? That without one of them, germination can never take place. What are they?
Water.
Water. What's the other one?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. For what? For respiration. Because germination is a result of, they have to respire for the shoots to come out. What's the last one?
Light.
Nope. That's wrong.
Oh.
Most students make that mistake. It's never light. Light provides something indirect. But remember, things are underground. Eh?
Pardon?
Wait a moment. So I'm saying sunlight. Remember, germination, we talk of things that are underground. So we don't talk of light. Huh? Clear? Light provides something indirect. What do we talk of? We talk of warm temperature or suitable temperature altogether. This
Yes,
is
sir.
for enzyme activity. Clear? So those are the three things. We don't talk of sunlight when talking of germination. Clear? So it means that is the best answer. Clear now? We don't need carbon dioxide here. We don't need light. We don't need this. Can you see the mistake? So water is fine. Carbon dioxide is wrong. Light is wrong. Suitable temperature is okay. Carbon dioxide is wrong. So that, remember, we need water, okay, for the chemical reactions. Water as a solvent. We need oxygen for respiration to take place during germination. Because without respiration, there won't be germination altogether. Respiration is the one that provides the cell division, that provides energy, because we need energy for the cell divisions. As the cells are dividing, as it is developing from an embryo, so we need respiration to provide the ATP energy for cell division. Clear now? So we need warm temperature for enzyme activity. So we need the three things: water, oxygen, and warm temperature. Is that clear? Oh, Takozwa have joined us. Okay. So we need those three things there for that to take place. Now, this is a tricky question there. The diagram shows you a reflex arc. Which structure is the sensory neuron? So I want you to analyze. Can you see a white, a yellow something that might be distracting you?
Yes, sir.
It's only me. Okay, Tagozo, I just need to remove something here. Okay, welcome. So the question says, which structure shows you the sensory neuron? So as we are revising, we are looking at many things. We are not just rushing to answers, but we are revising properly. So what do you think, Takuzo? Sensory neuron. It's very tricky, no? Which one is the sensory neuron?
C.
Do you agree with it? So this is
I think it's
receptor. You said C. What do you think?
no, it's okay, sir.
Tina, what do you think? A or C? The answer is between A or C. Let's analyze the diagram again.
It's A.
Takuzo, do you see why it's A?
Yes.
Because of the arrows, huh? Because sensory, so is the pain that you feel to this because of these arrows, it can tell you. That's why it was very tricky. So it's A there. So then this is what this is the motor neuron, huh?
Yes, sir.
And this is what? What do you call this? The neuron between sensory and motor and sensory neuron and motor neuron. What do you call it? What do you call that?
The relay
This,
neuron.
the relay neuron. And what do you call this gap here between neurons?
Synapse.
Clear? Okay. What happens to the muscles in the iris to make the pupil smaller? I heard that the eye was number one.
Yes, it was.
I taught guys at my school, I'd said it was in this, it was not in the syllabus. Then I forgot, but I taught them when we were revising that it was reintroduced. Anyway, what happens to the muscles in the eyes to make the pupil smaller? So if you want this, you don't need to cram this up. What you need to know is the diagram. Huh? Circular muscles are the ones that are like this. Let's say this is my pupil. Right? Then radial muscles are these ones here. So it's obvious, common sense that if I want this to get smaller, this one must what? Must contract. Huh? Can you see that? So that it pushes this to be smaller. So it means circular muscles must what? Contract. Make sense? And these are antagonistic muscles. It means if circular muscles contract, the radial muscles relax. Clear? See what I'm talking about here? It pushes this. If it contracts, it pushes this, it becomes smaller. So if this one is, if this needs to dilate so that it absorbs more light, if you're seeing things from a, so if you want to see things from a far distance, so this actually relaxes, and this contracts, the opposite. Clear now? So it means the circular muscles have to contract. And the radial muscles have to relax. Is it clear with everyone there?
Yes.
Like that.
Yes, sir.
Not difficult. Control of light intensity. Now, number 25. A student used two seedlings, X and Y, to investigate phototropism. You see where number one is phototropism, number two in a different way now. The diagram shows you their investigation. At the start of the experiment, then after some time, X after some time does not bend towards light. Okay. But then we have Y there at the start of the experiment. Then after some time, Y bends towards light. Which statement explains the difference in the results shown by what? By X, between X and Y. Did you read the question, or you need to read the question again? Or maybe I was too fast. Spear used 2 seedlings to investigate phototropism. X at the start of the experiment, X after some time does not bend towards light. Okay. Then we have Y there. So what explains? What best explains? Let's see. Did you analyze? Where is the glass here? Oh, I've got a piece of glass here. A piece of glass. I didn't even see that. So in the other one, there's no piece of glass. Is that correct? Okay, the piece of glass is on the other side. Okay, I see that. Piece of glass here. Then I've got light and piece of glass there. Okay, that's fine. So what's the correct answer?
Let's see.
Yes, the piece of glass in X stopped oxygen diffusing down the shaded side of the seedling. And that's why it did not bend. Now, control of sugar levels. The diagram shows you part of the mechanism that controls the sugar concentration. A, 1, more glucose in the blood. 2, less glucose in the blood. Liver, more glycogen, less glycogen. More glucagon released, less glucagon released. 5, pancreas. Let's see what the question is about. A person does 1 hour of exercise. Starting with the pancreas, what is the correct sequence in which hormone glucagon is involved? Glucagon is involved. Now let's think of, before we even look at the question, you are doing exercise. So if you're doing exercise, what do you need more? What do you need more? If I'm doing exercise, what do I need? What happens if I'm doing exercise? I need more glucose, huh?
Yeah.
Are we agreeing? I need more energy. Okay. So it means more energy, it means the respiration, the rate of respiration increases. I need more glucose. Huh? Where am I? Because if I'm doing exercise, I'm not eating. Huh? Where do I get the glucose from? I get the glucose from the glycogen that is stored in the liver. Clear now? And what
Yes.
hormone is involved? Glucagon. Huh? Because it's the one that converts glycogen to glucose. Okay. Now, so now they need the correct sequence, yeah, of things. So they're saying, what is the correct sequence? What is the correct sequence? Correct sequence. Think of what we've just said now. We're analyzing that. Huh? Or maybe you need me to show you the answer. No, what I wanted you is to tell me what are the correct, if we're just looking at that. Starting from where? Where are we starting from? From the pancreas. Huh? So what happens with the pancreas as we start to exercise?
More glucagon is released.
More glucagon is released, huh? Which is number
Yes.
what? Number 5.
5.
Then what happens?
Then there's I think it's number 3.
Number 3.
I don't know.
Okay, let's see what makes sense anyway. So we have 2 answers here. We have 3, 5, 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, which makes sense. Let's see what makes sense from the answers. We have 5, 3, 1, I think. 5, 4, 5, 4, 1. Oh, okay, sorry. So which one makes sense there? No glycogen released. What makes sense?
I think 541 makes sense.
5. Takus, what do you agree? 5, 4, 1. Are you there, Takus?
Yes.
So what simply happens is that your pancreas is the one that detects. By the way, it's not the hypothalamus, it's the pancreas. Because pancreas senses the sugar levels in the blood when the blood is flowing past it. So it senses that there is less sugar level than it in the blood, or the need for sugar when you're exercising. Because remember, when you're exercising, what happens first is you use up more glucose. Then the glucose level in the blood decreases. Then when the glucose level decreases, the pancreas senses that. When the pancreas senses that, it secretes like glucagon. Then the glucagon now is secreted into the blood, now travels to the liver. When it travels to the liver, it converts the excess glycogen to glucose, so that it restores the sugar level. Okay, but now the question was starting from the pancreas. That's correct. 4, 5, 4, 1. Okay. Now the diagram shows you part of the kidney, nephron, and its blood supply. During filtration, protein molecules do not pass through the walls. The glomerulus, which part contains the highest concentration of protein? Which part contains the highest? So again, is to know your excretion topic. So which part contains the highest
Is it A?
No. During filtration, protein molecules do not pass through the walls. Direction of blood flow.
Is it C?
No, the opposite is true. The answer is D.
Can you explain that?
Why did you think it's C? Okay, wait a moment. Wait. You just need to take a call to tell them I'm in a lesson. Someone is trying to call me. Okay, sorry, I'm back now. Okay, where are we? Oh, number 27, huh? Are you guys there?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, I'm sure you have read about absorption, filtration, but we're talking about filtration. Protein molecules do not pass through the walls of the glomerulus. So what is part C and what is part D in terms of your diagram? Because you need to know the parts. Huh? What is part C? You look at those arrows. What is part C and what is part D?
It's the direction of blood flow.
No, I'm saying in terms, no, what I mean is what is this? Yeah. And maybe what is this? That's what I'm talking about. What is that, Takuzo?
Is it a capillary?
Not really capillary, I get your point. But it's more of the renal what? The renal? That's the renal vein. Huh? That's the renal vein there. So remember the question saying during filtration, protein molecules do not pass through the walls of that. So you've got more of your proteins that did not pass through. Huh? The highest concentration will be in the renal vein. That's the renal vein there. Which, if you check your diagrams there. You don't have a diagram like that in your textbook.
I do, but then I don't understand what the difference between C and D is.
C
And D.
okay. C and remember C you have it's coming into. Huh? You have your blood there. Okay, that is got its nutrition coming into this. Huh? But we're saying during filtration, remember filtration happens here. Protein molecules do not pass through the walls of this. Huh? They do not pass through the walls of this during filtration. So if they do not pass, yes, so they do not, so this is going into this. Huh? Filtration takes place. And we have got some reabsorption anyway that takes place. So we're saying after that now, they're saying after during filtration, protein molecules do not pass through the walls of the, which part contains the highest concentration of protein during that process. Highest concentration. What is the function of your kidney? What is the main function of the kidney? If we go back to that, what is the main function of the kidney? Main function of the kidney. Oh, you guys are quiet. Are you there? So Tino, what's the main function of your kidney? If we were to go back to that. Can someone explain to us in general what is the main function of the kidneys? Main function of the kidney. Are you guys there? Oh, I've lost you. Main function of the kidney.
I forgot, sir.
Takuzo, what is the main function of the kidney? Let's go back to that.
Excretion, isn't it?
Yeah, but talk about it in detail here.
Well, the kidney tubules in the kidney, which help with ultrafiltration.
So number one, the first thing is filtration, which involves transfer of what? Of soluble compounds, such as water and waste, from the blood into the glomerulus. That's filtration. So the first thing is it involves You said filtration, it involves transfer of soluble compounds, such as water and waste from the blood into the glomerulus. That's the first part. Number two, when that happens, so you see that this arrow is showing that it's going to this. Okay. Number two, reabsorption. Reabsorption, what does it involve? What does reabsorption involve? Reabsorption? Are proteins reabsorbed?
No.
So you see, I'm trying to answer you your reason why it is the answer. Now, anyway, what is reabsorption? Involves absorption of molecule ions and water that are necessary for the body to maintain your homeostasis. All together. That's what we call what? Reabsorption. Clear? Makes sense?
Yes.
Now, which row describes sexual reproduction? Which row correctly describes sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction. So which one? Gamete, nucleus, zygote, nucleus, genetically different offspring, sexual. Is it genetically different? Sexual reproduction, yes, genetically different. The zygote, is it a diploid or haploid? Very
It's
easy.
diploid.
Diploid, 46 chromosomes. And the gamete nucleus?
Haploid.
Haploid, 23 chromosomes. Which organ secretes most progesterone during pregnancy? We talked about that when we were revising, I think before you started exams. And I said during pregnancy, something happens. So what is the correct answer? During pregnancy, I said the uterus stops secreting. Who remembers that I said that? So what will be secreting progesterone during pregnancy? And this is out. You said it's the placenta. That's what he said. During pregnancy. What is the role of mRNA, the message carrier? mRNA. What is its role? What is its role? You said what? B or D?
B.
B, huh? And be careful with this, huh? When it comes to the base pairing, remember I said A always pairs to what? To T. G always pairs to C. But I think this one does not have a T base. I'm sure you know that, huh? You've seen that in a book. Huh? The T is replaced by U. Clear now? This is the only one without a T base. Now, the diagram shows you the cell of an organism. The nucleus contains 24 chromosomes. After cell division by mitosis, how many chromosomes would be present in one of the daughter cells? What's the keyword? Mitosis. After cell division by mitosis is the keyword. So what happens? What's the correct answer? By mitosis.
Is it 6?
You said one? 6. How many are they? If you read the question.
It's
12. So do you agree with her? She said 6. Mitosis. Mitosis. Mitosis I produce is what? Genetically what?
12, it's 12, it's 12. I think it's 12.
Mitosis produces genetically identical. So what's the answer?
12.
12. Revise your mitosis. Meiosis. A man marries a woman who has different blood group from him. They have 2 children. The children have got different blood groups from each other. And have got different blood groups from each other and different blood groups from their parents. What a question. What are the genotypes of the parents' blood groups? So what are the answer? You can do the crossing, quickly do the Punnett crossing there, or the Punnett square. Then you identify the answer from them. Because remember the key word they said, the children's blood groups are different from what? The children have different blood groups from each other. From each other, and different from what? From their parents. And different from their parents. Anyone found the answer yet? Oh, you're still crossing out. Oh, we've lost someone there. Oh, she said she was going with 10. So what's the correct tackles when Erica then? After crossing, you're crossing. What
Is
did
it
you
C?
Do you both agree? You're saying C. Tackles, what do you agree? She said C. You have to do crossing, huh? Look at this. Without crossing, this can only give me a combination of what? Either blood group A, I'm agreeing. If I cross this and this, I get blood group A. If I cross this and this, I get blood group AB. Now, this and this gives me A. This gives me AB. This and this gives me A. Then this gives me AB. Huh? So I have blood group A, which is there. Blood group AB. So this is out. Huh? Was the same with the parents. Now look at this here. So if we go to number 2 there, this gives me a combination of what? If you're doing a Punnett square, gives me blood group A, because if O is always recessive. Huh? So it gives me blood group A. Then it gives me another blood group A there. Then if I do this, so I get blood group of A throughout. Can you see that? Makes sense? I get 100% blood group A. Yeah? So they are the same. Remember, they have to have different blood groups, huh? The kids. Huh? And it's also same with this parent out. Clear? Let's go to this now. So if I cross this and that, I get blood group AB. Then if I cross this and that, I also get blood group A, B. Yeah? Then if I cross this and that, I get blood group B. B is B. If I cross this and this, B is B. So I have 50% AB, 50% B. Yeah? Clear now. 50% AB, 50% B. Yeah? Clear now. So it's, yes, I can have a child with B and I can have a child with AB. So they can be different. But you see, the challenge is that the question says, which two children? Okay, the children must have different blood groups. That's correct. But and also different blood groups from their parents. This is the same with the parents. So it's out. Makes sense, Takuzo? Takuzo, does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, if I do the crossing here, I'll get A, O is simply A, because A, O is recessive. Then there I get the blood group A, like this. Then if I cross this, I get B. Then if I cross that, I get B. So again, 50% A, 50% B. So it's possible to have children with different blood groups. But you see, it's different from parents. Why? Because there I've got blood group AB. Huh? I don't have any blood group AB. Can you see that? I have either an A or a B, and I've got blood group O. So what's the correct answer?
D.
The D. What a question. Yes, you're supposed to do all this. Now, let's go to question 33. Pure breeding black feathered chickens are mated with pure breeding white feathered chickens. All of the offsprings, F1 generation, have black feathers and white feathers. Which of the two F1 generation chickens are crossed? Okay, when two of the F1 generations are crossed, what will be the ratio of the offsprings of the phenotype? What will be pure breeding? What will be the ratio of the phenotypes? So what do we do then? We start before the generation. Huh? We have black feathers and white feathers. Huh? So now we're saying when we cross that generation, there, let's start there when we are doing the pure breeding. Huh? So let's agree if we call this, let's say BB for pure black, huh? Then white like this before the F1 generation. Huh? So let's cross them out. What do we have? What do you produce here? We produce BW, BW. Can you see what I'm doing without the Punnett square? Then this BW. Are we agreeing? BW. Huh? Wait a moment. A pure breed of mated and a pure breed of white, whatever. All offsprings have black and white feathers. Okay, correct. Clear now. Makes sense? Makes sense. Black and white feathers, huh?
Yes.
Okay. You can see that it's we don't call this monohybrid. We call that co-dominance. Huh? Because both are okay. You know that. Now, so now then we are crossing. So we are taking two from this is the F1 that they're talking about. Huh? So we are taking two from this. So we are simply doing this. Clear now. So let's cross that. What do you produce? So, oh, what's happening to my marker? Wait a moment. So there we are crossing. Let's cross that together. BB. I'm sure you're seeing what I'm doing. Then B with this, I produce BW. Then W with B, I produce BW. Then W with W, I produce what? WW. So what's the ratio? 3 is to what? Is to 1. Are we agreeing? 3 is to 1. Is that correct what I've done there? Or I missed something here? I'm lying and you guys are quiet. Isn't this BB here? It's blacker. So this is black. Then this is 2 what? 2 black, white, huh? And 1 what? 1 white. Do I need to repeat? Did everyone understand that? Takuzwa, you understood that? Huh? Are you guys there? I can't hear you now.
I understood it.
Okay, Tino, yeah, okay, yeah? Eric,
Yes.
okay.
The
Now, after over the last 30 years, some antibodies have become less effective in treating bacterial infections. What is the reason for this? What is the reason for that? Natural selection. Is that what you are suggesting? That is D? Natural selection. Yes. That's the best answer then. Over natural selection. The bacteria become less effective antibodies because the bacteria can mutate, they change shape, and the antibodies become less effective over years. Now, the nitrogen cycle, which arrows represent, okay, which arrows identify the bacteria involved in W, X, Y, and Z, which means you need to know your nitrogen cycle in detail. Nitrogen cycle in detail. So W, what is W then? What bacteria is that? Nitrate ions to nitrogen in the atmosphere. What do you call that? You call that denitrifying? This, if nitrate ions are being turned into nitrogen in the atmosphere, we call that denitrifying bacteria. Denitrifying, clear?
Yes.
Then Z, what do you call it? It's nitrogen to nitrate ions.
The nitrifying.
Nitrifying. Then Y, what's happening to Y? Plants, ammonium. It's a
The decomposer.
decomposer, that's correct. Decomposer is responsible for that. Then the X, when nitrate ions are being formed, it's also nitrifying. Clear?
Yes.
I think this was just a typing error. Clear? The table shows processes in carbon cycle that releases carbon dioxide in the air or remove carbon dioxide from the air. Which row is correct? Which row is correct? Releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Which process is there? Release carbon dioxide. Let's be quick. There are 2 processes there. Which ones are correct? Releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. There might be 3. Which ones? Release carbon dioxide. Combustion releases carbon dioxide. Respiration releases carbon dioxide. Decaying releases carbon dioxide. Clear now? Now, which process removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere?
Is it photosynthesis?
Photosynthesis absorbs carbon dioxide. So what's the correct answer? A. Clear?
Yep.
What helps to maintain fish stocks? So you need to know about fish farming, huh? It's in your syllabus.
C.
Maintaining protected areas. Okay, correct. Which statement describes some of the events that occur in eutrophication? What is directly, okay, the events that occur during that. What is directly responsible for the increase in decomposers? Directly responsible. Okay, that's an easy question. Directly, so what will be directly responsible for the increase? In decomposers. What's the best answer then? Yeah, still thinking. Takozo, what do you think? Do you know you're back?
Yes, sir.
What you said you're going some.
Oh,
So what's the responsible for the increase?
um,
Directly responsible.
I'm not sure, sir.
Takozo, what do you think?
I think it's D.
D, correct. An increase in death of producers, it means they will have more food. They will have more food. They will, it means it will increase. Okay, the binary fission, okay, will increase in terms of asexual reproduction, and so that will cause a rapid increase directly. Now, in which cell structures? Okay, which cell structures make bacteria useful for genetic modification? So this requires, did you say C or what?
E.
D. Plasmids, bio genetic engineering topic. Up. Sorry about that. Let me quickly reload that. So the more papers you do, even on your own there, like I said, this is actually the most difficult paper, not the paper 4, huh? Because this one, if you score above 30 or 35 above 35, the better. But above 30, it's okay. Then the practical, you have to score very high marks. Remember, this practical paper is easy, the one that you wrote. Score very high marks there. That's what I just need to. I don't know why my software does some funny stuff. There. What is the function of the part labeled X? What do you think? The function of the part labeled X. There, according to your studies. What do you think? Erica, you've been quiet for now.
The, um,
You said what?
the B. I think
Correct.
D.
No, not sterilize. The solution is B. To maintain an even temperature throughout the solution. Okay. So from what I was revising, the reason why we are doing this, okay, trying to help you. I can tell that. Okay, the questions most of you were doing so well when we're revising. Go and revise on mitosis, meiosis. Huh? Well, some of you got confused there. Go and revise on genetic engineering. Again, go and revise on the kidneys. Huh? Clear? Make sense? Or it doesn't make sense?
Yes, sir.
It makes sense. Right? So confirm you are left with paper 2 only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll do another full paper, but not today. Today is what? Sunday. Saturday.
Today is Saturday, sir.
That's fine. So I'll let you know. We'll do another full one, full paper, like just we've done, going through everything. Then the other things which was not in this paper, you need to know calculations of. You might have a question in your paper saying, I don't know what you wrote, but calculations to do with magnification. Huh? It normally comes in your paper too. Huh? Especially when it comes to units, because normally they give you this. Huh? This, I would get that thing, which means 10 micro, which means 10 to the power 1 times 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. Huh? Okay. If it's 1 millimeter, I should know that is 10 to the power of minus 3. But to know the formulas and the calculations for magnification. Okay, are we together?
Yes, sir.
So today, I think we are sorted. Those that do chemistry tomorrow, there's chemistry, mainly organic chemistry and preparation of salts. It's at 5 to 7. Then those that do physics, there is physics. Because you managed to do your paper that I sent you printed. The paper
Yes, I did it.
Yeah, so if you did that, we'll revise tomorrow. Then we will pay attention to the planning of experiments. Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.